Prime Minister Boris Johnson and EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen failed to break the deadlock. The two leaders spoke for the second time in 3 days and have agreed to meet face-to-face in the coming days to resolve their outstanding issues. Well, in the last few minutes, they released this joint statement. As agreed on Saturday, we took stock today of the ongoing negotiations. We agreed that the conditions for finalising an agreement are not there due to the remaining significant differences on 3 critical issues: level playing field, governance and fisheries. We asked our chief negotiators and their teams to prepare an overview of the remaining differences to be discussed in a physical meeting in Brussels in the coming days. Well, in a moment, I'll be joined by Europe correspondent Adam Parsons in Brussels. But first, our political editor, Beth Rigby, joins me now from Downing Street. And Beth, no significant movement this evening.
Well, Gamal, this was the call to follow up the call on Saturday when the Prime Minister and Ursula von der Leyen outlined what the significant differences between the two sides remained, the sticking points of, we know them well now, fishing, governance and, of course, competition rules, how we have a level playing field between the UK and the EU, so the UK gets access to the EU markets, but it doesn't undercut the EU once we've left the transition period at the end of the year. The sticking points still remain. In a joint statement tonight, both sides said that they are taking stock. They're asking their chief negotiators to prepare a paper discussing where these sticking points are. And yes, the Prime Minister will go to Brussels at some point, we don't know when, to discuss this face-to-face now with Ursula von der Leyen. And I have to say, it doesn't really come as a surprise. This call was not, I didn't expect to be the make or break moment. It's not going to be decided necessarily in a phone call between the Prime Minister and the European the European Commission President, but rather he would want a FaceTime meeting. In terms of where the talks are then, it's going right down to the wire. When is he going to go? An EU source has just said to me the meeting will be probably on the margins of the European Council meeting. That's Thursday and Friday this week, when the EU 27 leaders, including, of course, Emmanuel Macron and Angela Merkel, the French and German leaders respectively, go to Brussels, meet at the Council. I'm told it's been decided as we speak. And my EU source says the deal needs to be defined prior to that and sanctioned at the meeting. So the view from the European Union is that the deal needs to be sorted out at that meeting. As I said from Downing Street, no details at all yet on when the Prime Minister will go to Brussels. But it's not the end of the road in talks, but it is certainly going down to the wire.
OK, Beth, thank you. Well, let's speak to our Europe correspondent, Adam Parsons. And Adam, how would you describe the mood in Brussels this evening?
Well, it was pretty gloomy for the whole day, to be blunt, because there was no sign of the significant movement in negotiations that was required to create a breakthrough. When Michel Barnier briefed EU ambassadors this morning, one said to me it was depressing, one said it was bleak. So there were those who thought that this phone call could end up with everyone throwing their cards in the air and saying, right, that's it. I suppose to an extent that these talks remain alive, there may be some positivity, but the indications I'm getting already are from some diplomats who are effectively shrugging and saying, well, look, unless there's movement, then this just means that the death has been prolonged just by a few days. Now, of course, we don't know when this meeting will be. A lot of us, I think, assume straight away that this meeting would happen in the margins of the European Council on Thursday and Friday. So in the past few moments, Eric Mamo, who's the spokesperson for the European Commission, has put out a tweet saying, let me specify, the meeting mentioned for the coming days is between the leaders, Ursula von der Leyen and Boris Johnson in Brussels. I think effectively saying this is one for the Commission, not for the Council, but there may be a serendipity around the fact that Boris Johnson could fly into Brussels at the same time where, frankly, all the decision makers are going to be in town. And that is not just Ursula von der Leyen. That is also, well, Charles Michel, the President of the Council, but I think more pertinently, Emmanuel Macron and Angela Merkel. Those are the people that he really has to get get on side, and it's going to be hard because for the past few months there has been precious little movement on those three key areas: the level playing field, governance and fishery. And there isn't much sign, bluntly, that they are near an accord. It's going to have to take rapid compromise. There is, and I just got a message here from a diplomat, this idea that you look each other in the eye and you blink. He said, it just doesn't happen at something like this. What they need is a negotiated compromise on the trade deal. And at the moment, even allowing for this can being kicked down the road a bit further, that still feels a long way away.